It's worth mentioning that Dominus has actually labeled his Shaman deck a new meta, so he has a lot of faith in it. And Dominus was actually the person we talked to earlier about, but what if you face the Hunters? There's so many Hunters out there. Doesn't Hunter just naturally counter Shaman? And Dominus actually responded really confidently. I think that my deck has a over 50% win rate against Hunter.
So he thinks he's favored against Hunter.
Yeah.
And I think it's really likely right now that we're going to see a Hunter against it.
That's right, since it's so common knowledge that Hunter actually just hard counters Shaman.
That is definitely the way most people view it, definitely the way people consider it. I've fallen into that camp before, but there are some people that I've talked to who I really respect their opinion, who say Shaman's actually not that bad against Hunter. So Dominus is not going to be afraid to be playing Shaman against Hunter here.
Nostam choosing to keep the Buzzard. Good. It's so tempting to keep the Buzzard because you can draw and Unleash, which is just traditionally so good against Shaman. He's even thinking about keeping Snake Trap, but the Buzzard Snake Trap dream.
The Buzzard Snake Trap dream, I think I have fallen into it before. And my opponent coined a trap, and I said, why did you do that? And then they played a Buzzard, and for whatever reason, I did not have my thinking cap on that day, and just attacked into it. So
mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. I believe I lost that game, and rightly so. They got me. They got me.
You do. You're going to fall for that at least once in your Hearthstone career.
I think it's a never again type of thing.
Yeah.
So, Nostam, he decides just to coin out, and he's got a Huffer, and he decides to kill the Spell Power Totem.
I mean, that is good in that it will remove one of the ways for the Huffer to die, which is spell Earthshock.
A Spell Power Earthshock, which probably would have happened.
Right.
And now Dominus is going to be looking at probably playing a Lightning Bolt instead.
Or even Feral Spirit. Feral Spirit takes down 2 Huffers. Good card.
It does. Lightning Bolt would let him Hero Power this turn. Feral Spirit would mean he's probably following up with Hero Power next turn. It maybe depends on how much Overload he wants to, eat between the next 2 turns.
There's also just, as a Shaman, so oftentimes you can have a all-spell hand, so a lot of the thinking has to do with, well, do I really need to get rid of my spells? And right now he's got a balanced hand, I'd say.
No matter what, it's very likely that he won't be able to play Loatheb on turn 5 as it stands. If he plays Feral Spirit, he might, unless he's presented with something that he needs to Lightning Bolt next turn.
I think that's actually a really good point, and that might be the tipping point for Dominus' decision. Because Feral Spirit allows the Loatheb play on turn 5, Feral Spirit might be the better play here.
And I think that the fact that he didn't just decide to Lightning Bolt immediately means that that probably is the primary thing he was considering. Nostam has the great follow-up. Of course, the dream is coin Animal Companion into Animal Companion as far as Hunters go. And he even picked up Unleash the Hounds to match his Buzzard.
Yeah, and Misha is the best one he could have gotten there.
So it's really coming together for Nostam. Dominus has a lot of play still to go here. He's certainly not out of it yet. He doesn't have a truly great answer for Misha.
I actually think he drew into a reasonable answer.
A reasonable answer, I agree.
Especially since he can follow it up with Undertaker.
He can play an Undertaker into the empty board, and
Actually,
it will still let him play Loatheb next turn.
I mean, I had just thought, no, you Rockbiter the Wolf and you send it in, but
yeah.
One thing you can even do is not even lose the Wolf. You just do some mix of Earthshock, Rockbiter. And
You could do that. It would be at the cost of 4 health, which is a very relevant thing in this matchup, Hunter versus Shaman. Neither class has access to very significant healing. There are, of course, a few neutral cards that heal, but not so powerful that you would want to play them in these very synergistic decks.
It is. You even saw Dominus actually mouse over Earthshock Lightning Bolt. Perhaps he's considering that. But the bad news about that is it blocks out Loatheb on the next turn.
It really does come down to how important he thinks Loatheb is next turn. He decides Loatheb will be good later, and he's just going to let himself be overloaded for 1. So he'll have 4 mana next turn. The good news is he gets to keep his Wolf, and he also stays at 30 life. Both of those could end up being important.
The bad news is he doesn't have an obvious next turn, but he's going to count on the heart of the cards for that one.
So Nostam just got a Creeper and a Freezing Trap which is better than just hero power pass by far. Sends it back to Dominus, and he's got, of course, he's still got his
this
wolf.
is so good for him. He actually has a 4-drop now.
Oh, he does have a 4-drop. He gets to just replay his Spirit Wolf.
Wow.
That
was,
overload. Very nice. So, gives him something to do.
I mean, that may have been a mistake from Nostam's side, just allowing that play.
He ends up getting an Eaglehorn Bow, which is a good answer, all things considered. And now he has to decide whether he plays the Explosive Trap or just Hero Powers. Hero Power is the most efficient with his resources. If he's at any point able to draw a bazillion cards off of Buzzard Unleashed.
Oh my gosh, Harrison Jones.
Oh, wow. That was a draw. That belongs in a museum.
One of the best cards to kill currently with Harrison Jones, and actually one of the reasons why Harrison Jones enjoyed such a popularity spike for time when everyone was running Honor.
Do you just Unleash for 2?
Boy, I would be really tempted not to, but this is absolutely fine. Oh, that's a great
The very
draw.
first draw is Hunter's Mark, so it's definitely going to work out. He gets to clear out his opponent's board, and he even has a Web Spinner. Pick up that additional draw, and he gets a Loatheb of his own. So he doesn't. There's no high main yet.
Yeah.
Dominus does have a Hex ready if there were a high main, but this is still very annoying for Shaman. Usually their best way to deal with this is with Lightning Storm, and Dominus does not have a Lightning Storm. So he's going to have to sort of chip away at his opponent's board.
Right. Looks like a good turn this turn is to play the Feral Spirit, a Totem, and then kill 2 things. Probably the Buzzard and the Creeper.
So do you think you would Rockbiter yourself to kill the Buzzard?
Yeah, I would do that. I would have made a Rockbiter the Buzzard play and Earthshock the Creeper play. This one is perfectly respectable too. He hopes to draw multiple cards with the Manatide Totem. Currently looks like that's going to happen.
And the play, well, he does pick up a kill command, so he has a way to deal with it if he wants to. It means he won't be advancing his board as much as he would have wanted. He has to choose between playing Loatheb this turn or using the kill command. If he uses the kill command, he's still not necessarily getting in there as much as he needs to.
Right. When you're a Shaman and your Manatide Totem gets kill commanded, I think that's a win for you.
This is actually a really good position for Dominus. He felt that even if the other play would have been better purely on the resources he had in his hand, perhaps would have been a better trade, like the play you suggested, that his hand was not a winning hand, and Manatide Totem was his best opportunity to dig towards the win.
Right, that is something so good to be thinking about.
Kill command is going to come in on that Manatide Totem.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
Shield Block is a good card against Hunter, and in this case, you basically gained 5, you drew a card, and not only that, you get rid of kill command from the Hunter's hand, which is so strong.
Very, very strong. So Manatide Totem, maybe not considered the best card against Hunter. Definitely a good card in this particular circumstance.
Used really well here.
Really well. Now Dominus, he picks up a Gnomish Inventor, so he's got the promise of continued digging into his deck. His hand is not unbelievable, but his opponent doesn't have much of a hand left either, and he is at 27 life. He needs to decide if he wants to try and kill off that wolf or just bash into the face.
There might be actually some concern that this is Snake Trap. I think that's the main concern right now. And, okay, wouldn't have mattered either way.
So the reveal of Freezing Trap comes down. Now he has a really kind of a difficult choice here on what he wants to do. His life total's good, but he doesn't have any really, really powerful play this turn. He decides to just go with the Gnomish Inventor.
Some consideration to Rockbiter the wolf, but he thinks, not quite value enough.
Yeah, he can deal with it later. Unless there are a bunch of charged beasts coming out, the effect is not terribly relevant this turn. Looks like he will just be able to deal with it next turn.
We've got Nostam just playing on curve.
So we haven't seen a Lightning Storm yet from Dominus. So he's still got 2 tucked away hiding. That
Well,
could come at any point.
Some players don't play 2.
Alakir has arrived. Alakir, the Wind Lord. Can't win just yet, but he's even got a Rock Biter to go with it. He's thinking about just playing Loathep Defender Vargas. He just touched both of them. Certainly
Looks strong.
certainly very, very strong. And he's also thinking about trying to get the Flame Tongue Totem into play. Because if it could survive until next turn, that would represent a lot of damage. But he's not going to be able to deal 26, 24.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, there's even... there was probably even some consideration to play Alec here. Clear quite a bit, but it will be better later.
I really like this play. It does set up pretty well.
Elegant.
Nostam does get one very important card in Savannah High Main, but Dominus has been holding on to a Hex for the whole game at this point.
That's right. Good discipline from I mean, not discipline because he can actually cast Hex, but that is the best answer.
And considering he didn't have Lightning Storms, which would have just been easy plays at 2 or 3 different points in this game, he's definitely done very well for himself to sort of stay at a reasonable life total up to this point.
Yeah, I think that Manatide Totem Spirit Wolf play was like the key turning point where he not only gained a few points of health, but he also negated a kill command from the opponent.
It was almost certainly the best play so far of the game, and it was something that we didn't jump to immediately.
Right.
And so it definitely does highlight just how much he's probably played this deck, and he said that he's confident with it, and I think there's a reason for it, and he's getting to prove it here that especially if he ends up winning this game, that this is no joke, this Shaman versus Hunter.
Right. It takes a bold man to claim Shaman's favorite against Hunter.
It does, and he's made some very, very strong plays, and maybe plays that others may not have made. So Houndmaster comes in, and Froggy is a beast. So Froggy gets to be a big Froggy. But even that,
making the explosive trap setup. I was thinking, well, wouldn't you? Oh, right, of course. The explosive trap is going to get set up here.
someone set up us the bomb, and it's going to be good enough to take down those 2 minions, but he still has a lot of damage.
Right.
12 plus 4, 1 damage off lethal. 1 damage off lethal.
Wait, no, the thing slides over.
Yeah, but that makes 4. And then, oh no, Alakir is a lot. No, it's more than 12. He has plenty of damage.
Right, that's gonna
easy
be,
game.
Yes. Nice
Dominus. So good. Dominating with Shaman.
Woo! Go Dominus.
Shaman taking down Hunter. It can be done. The dream is real.